Hi guys, it's Mrs. Crest here. I'm going to walk you through some editing for your montage really quick and go through a few pointers for montage. So even if you know how to edit, there are a few things that you should know specifically for making a montage. So if you go to applications, you will find iMovie on most of the computers. Some of them have Final Cut, but I would stick to iMovie just because the broadcast students are using Final Cut for very special projects and we don't want to mess them up. So click on iMovie. Once you click on iMovie, it's going to launch a screen kind of like this. Actually, not like this. I just created a video. So let's go back. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. So it's gonna launch a screen like this. You're gonna click on Create New. Once you click on Create New, you'll click on Movie. Once you do that, you might want to import your media by clicking on Import Media. I just created a folder called Montage Photos. You'll see it up here. You can also, you'll see folders in here based on what's on your computer or your SD card or whatever, and you'll find whatever you're trying to load, photos or video. I just select them all, and then I click on Import All right here. It puts all of those pictures into my timeline up above, and then I start to think about what does my script say? How am I going to match my pictures to my script? Whatever. How do I want to start my story or my speech? If I'm starting my speech, then I might want like a nice opening shot, like the ride. These are all pictures of my daughter's Make-A-Wish trip, so I might start with a picture of them riding to the airport, and then I might lay in this picture of them at the airport. You start to get the idea. So you just pick the pictures and you start laying them in. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of pictures in here really quick so you can see kind of how the story starts to take shape. And then we'll throw in a nice conclusion photo. At the end, you really want to picture that. Maybe not that one, but this is Make-A-Wish posted on their Facebook page, which isn't showing up very well, and I'll show you how to fix that too in just a moment. So that's a good example of what happens when you have something set. There's this particular setting that called the Carl Zeiss effect is causing that issue. But anyways, after that, then I'm going to put in this nice closing shot of them walking away. It just signals, hey, it's the end of my montage, and it's a nice little like feel-good photo at the end. So you really want to think about powerful ending shots, powerful beginning shots, and how are you going to lay out your speech? Like your pictures or your video should match whatever you are saying in your voiceover. So I might have to do this in a couple chunks, but maybe we can get it into one. We'll see. Once you have those things in, a couple of really quick pointers. In order to make this less, it automatically loads them at 4 seconds. In order to make it a little bit smaller, then I just drag it. Think of it like a big rubber band of photo here. You just drag that on whichever end. So if it's a video, it matters more about which end you're dragging it. And if this were a video, then I would be able to also split the clip. So I might highlight this clip and I might say modify, split clip. And then it splits it wherever my cursor is. So then it split this into 2 pieces. And I can drag this piece around. So I might want that like over here, or I might want it even behind this photo. So it allows me to drag this piece around. If it's a video, it's going to split both the audio and the video. There's a way to separate those, and I can show you that if you need that specific instruction on how to separate your audio and your video. So once you have everything laid in there and sized appropriately how you want it, so you can drag these longer or shorter. I would suggest like varying the length because it could be really monotonous if you have the same length of photo over and over and over again. Focus on things longer that need focusing on, and shorter clips for things that can go a little bit faster. That makes your video just move a lot faster, and it keeps things from being really boring. The other thing that you'll want to take note of is that effect, like this effect of the picture moving. If you double click it, it's actually called the Ken Burns effect. I thought it was Carl Zeiss. Okay, similar thing. So it says Ken Burns up here. If you just drag this out, these two boxes just need to match. So you can drag this on top of that. If you want the whole photo, then you just obviously have to drag this out as far as you can. Sometimes it doesn't really let you have the whole photo, but um, I think in this instance, it's the orientation of the photo that's making it hard. But um, just center it where you want to center it. So here, and then I want to make sure that this is out on the same length, and then I won't like crop anything off, if that makes sense. So the start and the end are in the same spot. Um, so that helps with this Ken Burns effect. And you can preview that here. You can preview your video at any time there. Um, so there we can see that there's no movement in that photo after I've changed that. And all the others are still moving. It automatically goes on to Ken Burns effect. So you will want to change that if you don't want the Ken Burns effect. And I would suggest that you try to eliminate that Ken Burns effect as much as possible in the montage, because you want your video moving quickly, and if you have a bunch of moving video, that's going to make things really difficult. So this is one where I definitely would want to drag, drag out so that people could see the whole post that was made by Make-A-Wish. So I would drag this all the way out to make sure um, that they're seeing everything that they need to see. And I do that on both sides again to get rid of the Ken Burns effect. So um, you just drag it out to make sure that it matches, and then everything should be good there. Okay, just like that. All right. Then once you have your entire video created, obviously I could spend a lot more time in this video than what I did, but once you're done, oh, here's another shot that might have been good for like a opening shot. So just keep in mind those sorts of things when you're looking at your photos, your pictures at home, like what could make a good opening shot to tell you whatever you're trying to say to make your point, and then what's a good ending shot. It's perfectly fine to have video in your montage wherever you want video as well. Keep that in mind as you're trying to gather photos and video. And then from there, you are going to want to you might want to record a voiceover in a certain spot. In order to record a voiceover, it's really simple. First of all, watch the voiceover videos on the PowerPoint or the Google Slides. But you want to find a nice space that isn't echoey, that is cushioned, that sort of thing. It's really good if you can hang some blankets around to just cushion the walls a little bit. And make sure you're not in a vestibule like a stairwell or something like that when you're recording your voiceover. But you'll just hover over wherever you want your voiceover, then you'll click on this little microphone, and then you click on record. It'll do a little countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then you start speaking and it goes right into your timeline. And then you hit it again to stop, and then whatever I just said shows up as a voiceover right down there, and I'll show you how this plays. And you start speaking and it goes right into your timeline, and then you hit it again to stop. Just like that. So then it creates the voiceover. I can move my voiceover around. I can even chop up my voiceover again. So I can click on my voiceover and do that split clip again right there. And it will split my audio, and then I can drag chunks of my audio to different places to match up with my pictures. So your audio should match up with your pictures. You shouldn't be talking about, let's say, in here I might be talking about a limo ride or a ride out or something like that. But you don't want to be talking about the airport while you're showing the limo, unless you make that connection, if that makes sense. So those are kind of the basics of editing your montage. When you are all done with your montage, you'll want to export it. And you do that by going here, File, Share, and then you'll say File, Share. Oh, they've changed this. I would just say File. Yep, and then it takes you to here. You'll want to say Next, or title your movie so that you know where it is, or what it is, obviously. This cross example, and then you'll click next, and then it takes you to here. I would save it to whatever external drive you have for now, or save it to the desktop and then email it to, like, upload it to your drive. Save it in multiple places so you don't lose it, because you would not want to lose all your work. And then click save, and then it starts to export. You cannot remove any external device or close out of the computer until it is done exporting. And you'll know that by, where did it go? If you go back to projects, let's try this again. They've changed iMovie just a little bit, but if I go back to projects, that didn't work either. There used to be a little circle that would tell you if you were done or not. I'm not seeing that. So let's try this again. File, share. File. Okay. Next. Oh, okay. There we go. Never mind. Answer my question. So up here, it will say share successful when it is shared and ready to go. And then I would find that in my documents because that's where I just saved it. But wherever you save it to, that's where you will find it. It used to have a little circle thing that would tell you when it was done. But they've changed iMovie a few times, so obviously it's a little different. So that's my short little bit on video montages. I am available for questions, any other type of deep editing that you want. I can also direct you to some people who know a lot about editing in our classes as well. But feel free to give me a shout if you have any questions. It's a lot easier than you might imagine, and using this software that we have available is great. It's nice that we have this to be able to create our montages. And obviously, if you have video instead of pictures, there's a little bit more, not a lot more, but more work in terms of like making sure volumes are right with your voiceover and your background sound. All of that is controlled by this little line here, which actually you guys can't see. If I bring this up, maybe you can. Maybe I can bring the window down. There we go. So there's a little line right here. You can bring that up and down, and then that controls the volume. I would highly suggest watching your video multiple times to make sure that the volume is perfect. Anyways, let me know if you have any questions. All right, bye.